Hey everybody, welcome to day 5 of my MentalFit challenge. My name is Justin Malloy, and I'm going through this program that I created for myself called MentalFit, and kind of moving towards this goal of not wasting time during my day and putting myself in a place where I am really happy and comfortable doing things that are good for me long term. So I'm a little bit closer today because once again my setup broke. So I'll be trying to fix it once more. But for now, this is kind of what I got. So yesterday, one of the things that I spent a lot of time on was figuring out something that Simon Sinek, who is someone that I absolutely would recommend, what he would call it a vision, which is not a vision in the corporate sense of like, okay, how much money do we want to make? How big do we want to be? What do we want to do? But much more in the Martin Luther King sense, which is what world do you want to live in? And that's been something that's been really important for me to try to figure out for myself, because I've never really experienced like true hard work, like work where I get up early in the morning and I don't want to go, but I have to, and that's just because I've lived a very privileged life, and because of that, I haven't really formed the skill of really hard work and making it so that. Can I? Other hand? Nope. Other hand doesn't work. All right. That's why I have difficulty when it comes to really working hard, busting my butt, and moving forward. And I had one or two options, which was really slog through the pain, which is how a lot of people learned hard work, right? Just because life can be very painful for that, and especially in the culture that at least I'm steeped in the really tech heavy center of America. But my other option was to find a compelling vision, something that really spoke to me, and something that was worth sacrificing for. And I think I found my first draft. I spent a lot of time last night off of games, thinking about what kind of world that I actually want to live in, and I recorded it all. And I'm not putting the full recording, but what on here. But what I'll do after I'm done posting this video is that I put together a motivational video. I don't know if any of you have seen the compilation motivation videos on YouTube, where it's basically just random inspirational backgrounds with random inspirational music and famous people saying good things. I mean, motivational things. And what I did was because I know how to edit videos, I got the random inspirational music and the random inspirational video, and I said what my vision for this world is, and I think it's a first draft, and I think going forward I will be working on how to communicate it, but right now I think that's my best way. And that's been something that's been really cool for me, and something that I get a lot more pleasure out of than playing video games and reading books. So this is starting to get a little shaky because I'm holding it too far out. Okay. We're going to be a little closer now. So that's one of the things that I did last night, and it was something that I had a lot of fun with. The second thing that I also had a lot of fun with is that I watched a lot of educational videos, mostly TED Talks, last night. And one of them that I came upon was this man who was talking about how he was super sleep deprived, could not get to sleep, drank so much caffeine that not only was he not awake during the day because he had to drink so much caffeine, but because he couldn't sleep at night. And he had a really interesting trick about falling asleep that I think is really awesome. And I hope that you all can use it. And what it basically is it uses this part of the brain that measures tempo. And the brain naturally wants to be in sync with the environment. That's why awkward silence is so awkward. And he found a way to be able to use this part of the brain to be able to slow down your mind, or in situations where you need to, speed it up. And what it really basically is that you know, sitting down or standing up, but when you're trying to go to sleep, sitting down is better. And you kind of pat with both hands, interchanging to the beat of a stopwatch. You know, da, 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 da. And you do that for a few minutes so that your brain can get accustomed to the rhythm, and then you slow it down. Da 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 da. And you keep going like that, and you'll find that you get really sleepy really fast. There's something that I found out about last night. And I haven't been doing a lot of physical activity recently, so getting to sleep early has been something that's been difficult for me. And later on in this MentalFit program, I'll be doing a little bit more, as we'll see next week. But spoilers. But it's something that I think is really interesting, because I know a lot of people struggle with sleep because caffeine's such a big part of this world, and so is screen time, right? And the light of a screen, of like a phone screen, or of like kitchen lights, that registers to our brain as, oh, it's dusk. So the sun's still up. It's going down, but it's still up. So we got some time before we go to sleep. And that's why so many sleep experts recommend, okay, 45 minutes after, kind of go into something that's more darkness, right? Where it's one small lamp with your book. Or for me, I have my phone darkness, and then I also have a blue screen blocker. But the blue screen blocker I set to grayscale, and it's just another dim bar. And that's how I get my phone to get really dim. And you know, that's another thing with sleep, because sleep's really important. And so that was something that I thought was really interesting, and something to kind of help people sleep without, you know, taking medication. And on the other side of that, there is something to be said for it to be waking up, right? Where there's you kind of get out of bed and you're all groggy and sleepy, and you know, that's not great. But and this isn't something I checked, but I have to assume there's videos of just, you know, beats that accelerate eventually, right? Where it's a 4/4 beat for 3 minutes, and then it accelerates. It's like, okay, then your mind will accelerate with it, and that'll wake you up, right? Just as slowing it down puts you to sleep. And that's the sort of thing that I love about this personal growth stuff that I'm going through, is that there's so many neat little tricks that can make your life so much better, because there's so many people that deal with sleep problems, right? My father just being one of them. And this little trick is something that some people might say is like, yeah, well, whatever, I don't have a problem with sleep. It's like, well, good for you, but for some people, this is a life changer. And it's all of these tiny little life changers that I'm excited to pick up, like posture. Lower back pain can cripple some people, where it's very simple. Okay, this person has spent 30 years researching posture, and it's all accumulated in, this is the way to stand. That'll make it so that your back doesn't hurt, and this is the way to sit. And it's like, okay, that was 30 years of work, but what it does is it gives that one little trick that you can give to people that turns their whole life around. And those are the sort of tricks, I don't want to reinvent the wheel. Those are the sort of tricks that I want to pull and be able to kind of be able to share. And that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to kind of step away from all of this escaping through video games and videos and books that don't put me towards my vision or my goals, because I get excited when I learn about these things. And I don't often get excited when I'm playing video games alone, right? When I'm playing video games with people, I find that I actually do have a lot of fun. And that's something I think I want to keep in mind. But when it comes to being alone, watching these videos is one of the most fun things that I can do, because it's like it's all progress, and that's very like it's video gamified videos, which is very strange to me. Um, but it's been it's been interesting, and I think a lot of fun for me to be able to kind of realize that this is something that I do for free that can help a lot of people, right? Where it's this collecting all of this information, and eventually I get to the point where I can say, okay, look, I understand your exact problem, and I've been researching this for a few years and getting all the tips and tricks. These are the top 10 that I think will really help you, right? Or the top one. And I think that's really where I want to go right now, which is what are all the problems that people can have, and then start going through them slowly, because I'm not the smartest person on the planet. I do have access to the internet, and so do some of the smartest people on the planet. So what I can do is I can just pull these experts' knowledge that have spent years and resources to be able to pull all of this together and kind of use their work in the way it was meant to be used, which is to help people. And that to me is exciting. And that's something that I kind of excited to put forward. And not only am I excited about the results, which is, you know, maybe helping people and and hopefully my vision is doing that on a mass scale, but it's even helpful just to me, and I like doing the thing. Whereas when I was doing marketing, and the result was super interesting to me, getting people's leads and clients and helping people in that way. That was awesome. I hated doing the work. And so it was really difficult to motivate myself to be able to actually do the work because I didn't like it. Um, and and this is something that I think is really interesting. Where, uh, and I say this, I don't say it in the part of the vision that I have in the video, but part of my vision is not to. We no longer judge fish by their ability to climb a tree. Now, that's an old saying. That's something from the old Ottoman Empire in their education system. But it basically just means we judge you based on your strengths, not your weaknesses. Um, and that's something that I think is really important, because we all are different. And it's important that we understand the best ways that we're able to help each other rather than the best ways that we're able to fail. And I think that's going to take a lot of work, and I think that's something that I'm kind of excited to pull forward and be able to give people some sort of foundation to be able to take that first step for, because not a lot of people are going to care about how they feel about doing the things that they do, or getting to the next step if they're tired all day, like they just can't think because they're so tired, or they can't think because they're so addicted to food, or things like that. Um, and that's I definitely went on a tangent here, but that's sort of the next step for me is doing all this research for, okay, what are all the things that are common that people have problems with? My hand is so shaky. That people have problems with, and who are the experts in that field, and what are their recommendations, and what are their experiments, and look at what scientifically they think works best based on their data, and learning all of that, because it's out there. And a lot of people are in the place where they can't think about it because they don't have the energy or the time or the resources. And I do have the energy, time, and resources. So it's important for me to be able to do that, because this is something that I can actually help with. So that's something that I'm excited to really start getting into. And the reason that this is relevant to the MentalFit challenge is because it's something to replace all of this escaping that I've been doing. I am so shiny right now. And it's something that I really would love to do. And that's important, because I can't just be like, okay, yeah, all of these things I'm doing for 8 hours a day, because I am playing 8 hours of video games, watching 8 hours of videos plus every day, because I don't have anything to do, I feel. If I just scrap those, then boredom's going to kill me. But there's also some dopamine stuff that I got to work out. But that'll be in a different video. So um, for now, I think the thing that I'm going to leave you with is I'm excited because I know there's more options out there that'll make me feel better than the escapes that I'm doing right now. And that's sort of my progress for yesterday. But shortly here, I'll be putting up the motivational video. My voiceover in that is horrible, horrendous. And that's because I was not talking very loud. I was talking a little quieter than I am now. And you can tell that my voice is not smooth. It's not a smooth voice when I talk quietly. So anyway, that's something that I'll be working on eventually as well. So many opportunities for growth, and that's kind of exciting. But for now, what I want to say is I'm excited because I see a little bit of a light, and I'm going to kind of run towards it, and we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I wish you all the best of day, and I will see you tomorrow.